man and his wife were celebrating 50 years together. Their 3 kids, all very successful, agreed to a Sunday dinner in their honor. "Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad," gushed son number 1. "Sorry I'm running late. Had an emergency. You know how it is. Didn't have time to get you both a present." "Not to worry," said the dad. "The important thing is that we're all here together today." Son number 2 arrived and announced, "You and Mom still look great, Dad. Just flew in from LA and didn't have time to get you a present. Sorry." "It's nothing," said the father. "Glad you were able to be here." Just then the daughter arrived. "Hello, both of you. Happy anniversary. I'm sorry, but my boss is sending me out of town and I was really busy packing, so I didn't have time to get you guys anything." Again, the father said, "I really don't care. At least the 5 of us are together today." After they had all finished dessert, the father put down his knife and fork, looked up and said, "Listen up, all 3 of you. There's something your mother and I have wanted to tell you for a long time. You see, we were very poor. Despite this, we were able to raise each of you and send you to college. All through the years, your mother and I knew that we loved each other deeply, but we never found the time to actually get married." The 3 kids gasped and said, "You mean we're bastards?" "Yup," said the dad, "and cheap ones too." I had an old calculator. My dad's dad got through high school with it. My father used it in college. I used it as a freshman in college. The thing was ancient. It took 2 giant batteries in the back and everything. Looked killer though and felt sturdy and real. I loved that thing. One day in math class I'm taking a test, and the thing starts to shudder. I replace the batteries, but it doesn't help. I continue to take the test, watching as my calculator slowly fades. I realize it's the only calculator I have on hand, so I start hurrying before it finally gives out. I'm rushing through each question, all while this heirloom, this piece of familial history, slowly gives out before my eyes. Finally, I get to the last question. Find the length of the opposite side of the given angle within the right triangle. One by one, I jam in all the figures I need to, trying to squeeze one last equation into my calculator's life. Finally, with its last bit of life, it pushes out the answer I need. I scribble it down, and the calculator shuts down for good. Then it all hit me. It died for my sins. A man goes to a shrink and says, "Doctor, my wife is unfaithful to me. Every evening, she goes to the bar and picks up men. In fact, she sleeps with anybody who asks her. I'm going crazy. What do you think I should do?" "Relax," says the doctor. "Take a deep breath and calm down. Now, tell me exactly where is this bar?" "I took my dad to the mall the other day to buy some new shoes." He's 92. "We decided to grab a bite at the food court. I noticed he was watching a teenager sitting nearby. The teenager had spiked hair in all different colors: green, red, orange, and blue. My dad kept staring at him. Every time the teen looked over, he'd catch my dad still staring. Eventually, the teenager had enough and sarcastically asked, "What's the matter, old man? Never done anything wild in your life?" Knowing my dad, I quickly swallowed my food to avoid choking on his comeback. I knew he'd have a good one. And, of course, in classic fashion, he didn't even blink when he replied, "Got drunk once and had a wild night with a parrot. Just wondering if you were my son." So back in the day, my great-great-grandmother worked at one of the small towns being settled out on the Great Lakes. Back then, they'd get shipments of food and other goods from small sailboats. These boats would come in rotations. So my Gigi grandmother figured that by seeing what sloop was coming in, you could guess what food they'd have on board, and therefore what they would have for lunch that day. Her favorite was Boat 22, which carried grain and chicken. It wasn't her favorite because of the food, but because whenever some asked that day what boat was coming in, she could say, "The sloop of the day is the chicken noodle sloop." 2 fish are in a tank. One turns to the other. "How long do you think this war's gonna last? We've been trudging along the seabed in this damn thing for way too long." "Not much longer, I hope." "What's a clownfish like you doing in the aquatic armored division anyway? Most wouldn't want to be stuck in a tiny 2-fin-sized box." "Recruiter said it'd pay more. And I guess I thought I wouldn't mind some walls around me after my house was destroyed." Go on. It's the whole reason I joined the fighting force in the first place. Spent my last shells getting my family safe. I joined for the money, but mostly because of the subsidiaries the maritime government promised to give soldiers towards rebuilding their homes after the war. I wouldn't count of them upholding that, but you can certainly hope. Well, I had no choice. We've been in this tiny thing together for like what, 3 months, and you're telling me all of this now? Felt like appropriate timing. That's the whole reason you became a soldier? Not for duty or loyalty to your reef, but to get paid and the promise of a home at the end of it all? Yeah, it's crazy what a fish might do without anemone. The cost of doing business. One warm day, a stockbroker was on his way to a meeting when he saw a young girl selling lemonade by the side of the road. He pulled over and got out of his brand new BMW in a nice tailored suit. "Hey, mister, you want some lemonade?" she called to him. He was about to walk past her when he stopped and did a double take at the sign that said, "Lemonade, $50. "Your sign is wrong, miss. I think you mean 50 cents, he informed her. The little girl shook her head. "Nope, $50, mister. I need the money for space camp." The stockbroker paused for a minute because, in his line of work, he appreciated a good hustle, but he truly believed this young entrepreneur was going about it the wrong way. "Look, sweetie, I know you're trying to make money, but you have to charge what people are willing to pay. No one is going to pay that much for a tiny cup of lemonade. Now what do you think is a fair price?" The girl beamed and said, $50, mister." The stockbroker sighed and shook his head. "Okay, I'll pass. You can't make a profit when no one is willing to pay your asking price. Now do you have anything else for sale?" "Homemade brownies, 50 cents, she replied. The stockbroker winced in frustration. "I studied economics at Harvard, and I got my MBA from Wharton, so I'm going to teach you a little about business. Okay? Now each of your little cups of lemonade probably costs you about 50 cents, including the margin cost of your stand." He opened his wallet and took out $1. "I'll pay you 10 times that much, because I want to help you understand about markup." The little girl shook her head and smiled. "No thanks, mister. $50, please." "You know what? I give up. Take this $1 and I'm going to buy 2 of your brownies. I know you're losing money on them, and I'm not going to buy a single cup of your overpriced lemonade." "I'm trying to be nice and teach you about business, but I guess this is the only way for you to learn a lesson." "Okay," she said, taking the $1 and putting 2 brownies on a plate. Just to make the point, the stockbroker decided to eat one of the brownies right in front of her. Suddenly, he began coughing and gagging uncontrollably. "Oh my God, what did you put in these?" Grinning happily, she told him, "It's my special recipe. Eggs, flour, butter, cocoa, sawdust, and goat pellets." "This is horrible. I have to get this taste out of my mouth," said the stockbroker in disgust. The girl produced a jar full of $50 bills, cocked her head to the side, and said through a beaming grin, "You want some lemonade?" 2 very old guys are sitting on the porch chatting. Guy 1, "I bought a ticket for this weekend's Powerball drawing." Guy 2, "Oh yeah, I always knew you are an optimist." Guy 1, "Why? I am not really expecting to win." Guy 2, "Yeah, but you are expecting to learn the numbers."